I am excited. I have something planned for today that we have not done yet. We've done some things that are a little similar, but this is not something that we have done yet. So this is brand new to us. It's just for me and you, just for us. All right, just for today, and I will let you know that in just a few moments. But a couple things that I want to highlight real quick. One, if you're here, chances are you're watching on YouTube, because I think this is the only place that we're streaming at the moment. So you are probably watching us on YouTube at the moment. And if so, make sure that you like and subscribe to the channel. We are constantly, and I mean constantly, putting out. I did a video last night, like after the schedule release, just to have a little extra something to put on the page. So make sure that you like and subscribe to the Dynasty Nerds page. And let's see, where's my chat? Guys, why can I never get anything right when it comes to technology, right? I'm not that old. And surprisingly enough and scary enough, my wife comes to me for her technological issues. That's a problem. That's a problem, because right now I can't even find my chat. Here we go. Here's my chat. I found it. We're here. We're back. I feel like it took a little while to connect, but that's okay. We are back. We're making it happen. Jordan's here. Josh is here. What's up, guys? Thanks for coming in. Thanks for hanging out. Like I said, got some sweet stuff planned for today. Ryan's here. He said the Connor Rogers was an awesome ad this past week. Thank you, man. Connor's a great dude. He is a guy that I really enjoy talking to, hanging out with. Very, very smart guy. So he is one of my favorites when it comes to doing interviews and things like that. Got some other great ones coming up here. Danny Kelly should be dropping either tomorrow or Saturday. Had a really, really good conversation with him. It was fun because we did what would be like a would you rather. We did a fantasy would you rather. And I gave him a veteran player, and then I gave him a rookie player. And he had to decide between those two guys who he would rather have, the veteran or the rookie that's at a very similar ADP. So very, very fun show that I just did with him. Have one tonight that I'll be working on with my good friend David Zach, a very, very smart guy when it comes to knowing the numbers, knowing the analytics, things like that. Like he is on his game. So talking with him about how we can utilize analytics to our advantage. And then we're working on the exact date, but in June, I'm going to be having Andy Holloway from the Fantasy Footballers on, and we're going to be talking some Dynasty rankings. So should be really, really fun. And literally moments before this, like I think I had like 7 minutes in between what I just did in this. Rich and I just recorded the Nerd Herd podcast, and it's a little Garrett versus Rich, a little debate on our rankings and players that we see differently. It was a very cordial debate, not Skip and Shannon, nothing like that. Very, very cordial debate and discussion on, hey, we like this guy, we don't like this guy, where are our differences, why are we seeing them? And I might have won him over on some, he might have won me over on some, we might have just agreed to disagree on some. You'll have to wait and see as that comes out, but that should be coming out tomorrow morning, afternoon, somewhere during the day tomorrow. So lots of good things that came from that. So really, really enjoyed it. Last thing I want to touch on before we get into all of our main stuff today is schedule release. Schedule release happened last night. Like I said, I put out a quick video on it. And is it one of the most overrated NFL events we have? Absolutely. It is super overrated. But all of that being said, there are some little nuggets and some things that you can glean. I love to go to week 15, 16, 17. I love to go there, see what the matchups are looking like, see who's playing indoors, who's playing outdoors, who's at home, who's on the road. Like those are some very, very important weeks in a schedule. So love going there and just kind of checking that out. So do yourself a favor. Go ahead and head to a schedule. Take a look at it. See who has some good matchups, who has some rough ones. And obviously in that video, I'll kind of help guide you through some of that as well. if you're still in leagues where you play defenses, it's good to look at those first like 3 or 4 weeks, because typically, unless you have an elite defense, you're streaming defenses. So you want to see what the matchups are like those first 3 or 4 weeks. All right. So Ryan's in here. We got multiple Ryans in here. Jordan said it's so overrated. Screw the NFL for making Christmas a Netflix exclusive. So dumb. So dumb. And I think the week 1 game between the Packers and Eagles, I want to say, I think that's on Peacock. Hopefully that means it's still on NBC. I don't know that it is, though. So we might be missing a week 1 game if you don't have Peacock. I fortunately do have Netflix, but it's still like, it still makes me mad. I still don't like it. Mark said everything February through August is overrated. Ooh, that's a little bit of a bold take. That's a little bit of a bold take, Mark, because I think the NFL draft is pretty important, my man. Pretty important to figure out who you're getting, who you can get to your team. I don't know, man. That's a pretty important event. Maybe if you want to even say for fantasy it's overrated, that's fine. But especially for the NFL teams, I mean, that's where your bread is buttered, baby. It's where your bread is buttered. So Mason's here. What's up, man? Jake said May has been pretty hype. Hey, at Dynasty Nerds, we're trying to keep it hype 100% of the time, baby. 100% of the time we're trying to do that. So what we're going to do today is we've been talking so much rookie. So much with this rookie class. But I think we need to do a startup mock draft. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get this startup link, if I can find it. Let's see. We're gonna do a mock startup. I copied the link here. Let me put it. I might have to get on the YouTubes real quick. Get on the YouTubes and paste it in the chat. Hold on. One day will be so. This will be so streamlined. We'll have a producer doing all this. I won't even have to worry about it. I'll just be like, hey, put the link in the chat, bro. And then I'll be like, okay. And I'll be like, thank you. I will, because I'm very polite. I'll say thank you. All right, let me get the video up. Our content, our live stuff. Here it is. Let's go. Oh, geez. I don't care about that. Just take me to the video. Take me to the video. All right. We're getting there. Slowly but surely. Slowly but surely. I'm getting to the video. I'm going to paste it. I really am. This is real life. Why can I not get there? Oh, man. This is, why can I not go live to my own video? Oh, here we go. View on YouTube. I got it. I got it, guys. All right. Bam. Pasted. All right. Now it's in there. Ryan says he likes it better this way because we all struggle with technology. It just feels more real that way. I appreciate that. Jordan says my entire job is tech and I still struggle when I'm on the spot. That's the other thing, guys. I'm a terrible multitasker. So trying to do anything while doing anything else is crazy difficult for me to do. Like unreasonably difficult. Oh, I forgot to pick a team. I better claim one. There we go. I'll go there. I almost didn't get a pick in my own startup. Yeah. So for me, anytime trying to do something while doing something else, nearly impossible. So there's the link, guys. Go ahead and click in. You can join me on this mock draft for a startup. This is not a rookie mock draft anymore. We're doing the real thing. Mark asks, single QB, and I have 102, 103, and 104. Only have Derek Carr at quarterback. Do I take Caleb at 104 or Xavier Worthy? I would not be taking Caleb at 104, but you could easily take 104, trade back to 108, 109, get yourself a quarterback there. So that's what I would probably do in that type of situation. But I don't think it's like a horrible concept to do that, but I would much prefer to trade down, take a quarterback there, because I just don't want to overdraft a quarterback in a 1 QB league. So we have, let's see, we're not full yet. We still have 4 spots. 4 spots available. So if you're watching right now, there is a link that I posted in the chat. Join us. We'll do tight end premium. We'll make this a tight end premium draft. So tight end Superflex, tight end premium mock draft. We're all going to do it together. We'll be discussing the picks live. I'll tell you which picks I love, which picks I'm like, wouldn't be my choice personally. But we have spots 6, 7, and 11 still available to grab here today. So appreciate all of you guys hanging out with us, talking Dynasty, baby. Talking Dynasty all the time. I forgot to mention that. I just realized when I said Talking Dynasty, we just recorded a Talking Dynasty episode. That's right. I know a lot of you guys are big fans of the Talking Dynasty show. It's very fun. It's very different than anything else we do typically on the channel. Jared Wackerly and myself, we finished an episode yesterday with Eric Froton of NBC Sports. He is the man when it comes to college football stuff. This dude really, really knows his stuff. So really fascinating to talk with him. But all that being said, he did an awesome job of like breaking down a bunch of the classes, guys coming up, what we should be expecting. So some really, really good stuff there. There's 28 of you guys out there right now, and we still have 3 spots left. So go ahead and hop in these spots. Click on that draft or on that link so we can get this Superflex mock draft going. Ryan says, do you prefer 0 RB in Superflex leagues? I don't know that I would say I prefer it, but that's the route that I have gone often in the past. Although it's getting to the point where people have faded running back so hard that they've started to become a little bit of a value. So I find myself taking got a little puppy around here running around. I find myself taking running backs more often than I used to in these Superflex startups. So yes, like on principle, yes, I tend to wait a little bit longer on running back, but lately I've found myself taking a few more running backs early than I have in the past. So, all right, we still got 2 spots. All right, I will open it up to Twitter. It'll fill up real fast. So if you want to get in on the Superflex mock draft, go ahead and jump on it. Otherwise, I'm going to post right now, and I'm going to see if we can get some people in here to fill up these final 2 spots. All right. Come mock with me. Bam. Whoops. All right, there we go. Come mock with me, right meow. Here we go. Jordan said, Garrett, Dynasty Nerds and the GM have helped me completely turn my team around. Reviewed my roster during lunch last week, but since then, more has happened. Thanks. Hey, not a problem, man. Not a problem. It's always cool to kind of hear people's perspective on a company that you've put like all this time, effort, energy into. When it first started, it wasn't a big thing, and it's grown to where it is. And so to hear like, yeah, we get tons of people all the time that are like, screw you guys, you said this and I should have done that, and like all that kind of stuff does still happen, don't get me wrong, but it's really cool to hear when people are like, hey, I've been listening to your show for years, help turn my team around, or use the GM, help me win a ship, or the nerd score really helped me in my draft kind of prioritize players and stuff like that. So I always like really genuinely appreciate hearing feedback like that, because you do in this kind of space, you unfortunately get the trolls that are around, and that happens, and it's okay. But it's really good to hear when people are like, no, like this has been great for me. It's been really, really helpful. So I genuinely appreciate hearing that kind of stuff. All right, let's see. We're still not full. What is going on? What is going on? All right, let's see. Announcements. Come mock with us. Bam. All right. Ryan says his view, this is going back to the running backs. My view is I'd rather take running backs early than later, especially now since there's so many awesome receivers. I do agree with that. The receiver has definitely been a little bit diluted. Yeah. I think running backs have started to become a value. Let's see. Nerd. All right. Sorry, I feel very distracted today compared to normal. It's saying full? Huh. I wonder why it's saying full. Let me refresh this. Because on my end, it is not saying full. Oh, there we go. Yeah, it's full. Maybe it's been full for a while and I didn't realize it. All right, here we go. Starting the draft right now. We're going to get it going. Huh. Okay. And we're off. Let's see. On my end, it is not saying full. Oh, there we go. Yeah,
no offense to Jared, Rich, or Matt, but
this guy right here is number one. Oh, thank you. I genuinely appreciate that.
Here we go.
Those other guys are awesome. Starting the draft right now. But we're going to get it going. Hearing that, man. That you enjoy. And we're off. And the content. Dude, I just love hanging out with you guys. Like, that's the thing for me.
Oh, there we go. No offense to Jared, Rich, or Matt, but
this guy right here is number one. Oh, thank you. I genuinely appreciate that.
Here we go.
That's the thing for me. Starting the draft right now. But we're going to get it going. I genuinely enjoy. I'm one of you guys. And we're off. Like, I was just dude, I just love hanging out with you guys. Like, enjoyed fantasy football.
Oh, there we go. No offense to Jared, Rich, or Matt, but
this guy right here is number one. Oh, thank you. I genuinely appreciate that.
Here we go.
That's the thing for me. Starting the draft right now. We're going to get it going. I genuinely started writing and we're off. Dude, I just love hanging out. Want to like come to a enjoy fantasy for me. Oh, there we go.
No offense to Jared, Rich, or Matt, but
this guy right here is number one. Oh, thank you. And they're like, hey, genuinely appreciate that. Here we go. That's the thing for me. Starting the draft right now. The right opportunity. We're gonna get it going. I genuinely hear that. And they're like, would you want to do this more often? And I was like, why, yes, I would like to do this more often. Sorry, I'm clearing out some of my tabs here. And like I just became part of the show. Oh, there's an echo. Uh-oh. All right. Maybe. Let's see. Did that fix it? Man, these tech issues. You see how it goes. Oh, see, even Jared's calling me live on there. Let's talk to Jared live on there. Jared, you're live on the air, and apparently I'm echoing like crazy.
Yeah, you are. I had to tune in real quick, and I was like, dude, I got to call him. But I'm glad the chat was telling you.
Yeah, I don't know what happened just out of nowhere.
It's not happening anymore.
Okay, it must be because I had Discord on for a second.
You fuck.
I'm guessing that's the case. I don't know. That's the only way I can figure it out.
All right. Yeah, you're good. See ya.
All right, see you, dude. Guys, this is the life. This is what happens when you hang out with me. Look, things are gonna go wrong all the time. That's just how it works. All right, so let's get into the draft. Let's break it down a little bit. Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, not a surprise. You're gonna see them one or two in basically every single draft. Jalen Hurts goes 1-3. I ended up taking CJ Stroud at 1-4. To be honest, I don't love the 1-4 spot in a real draft. Like I would much rather kind of either get the first two guys, or I would rather just wait. Like just wait till the very end, and then take whoever else is available. Because right now, like I don't see a huge difference between Jalen Hurts and Caleb Williams or Anthony Richardson or guys like that. Like I just don't see a huge difference in those players. And so for me, I would much rather just be at the end. So, but for what it's worth, I took CJ Stroud at 4. Justin Jefferson went 5, so the first non-quarterback off the board. Then we have Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, Caleb Williams. So 7 of the first 8 quarterbacks, not a big surprise. Then we start to get a little bit of a run on wide receivers. CeeDee Lamb, Jamar Chase, Justin Herbert, and then Amon-Ra St. Brown. Parker, my guy, he's going with 2 wide receivers here. But, man, these are 2 really freaking good wide receivers. So good opportunity to get 2 good guys there in Amon-Ra St. Brown and Marvin Harrison. Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall, Anthony Richardson, Jordan Love, and then Bijan Robinson just went off the board. I thought for a half second there was a chance that Bijan Robinson was going to be available for me at 2-9, and I was going to lose my mind. I was going to be so crazy excited. But he's not. He's gone, and it is what it is. Kyler Murray, next one off the board. And I'm sweating a little bit because there's one guy I really want here. And I hope my guy True Blue does not take him. If he does, I understand. And he's a smart man. But I am really hoping that player does not go there. Marcus said he just wrapped up a Superflex startup. I took Jefferson over Burrow in round 1 and Chase over Herbert in round 2. I'm still not sure how to feel. QBs are Dak, McCarthy, and Darnold, and Levis. Look, sometimes you got to zig when everyone else is zagging. So I can't necessarily blame you there for going that route. I have a hard time doing it, but I can't blame you, dude. I really can't blame you. All right, True Blue, he's running out of time. He's trying to figure out who the guy I said I was going to pick was. I think that's what it is. He's trying to get an inside scoop on where we're at with all of this. He said CMC has not been picked. Dude. Oh, wait. Then I got auto-picked? What just happened? Why did I get auto-picked? That's all right. I was taking Gibbs anyway. That was who I wanted there at 2-9. So I'm very happy to get Jahmyr Gibbs at that spot. So that was the guy that I was targeting. I think for me, Gibbs has entered that tier of Bijan and Breece Hall. I think that he's going to be an absolutely dynamic player for the foreseeable future. He's going to get more run than he's gotten currently in Detroit. I think they're going to ramp up his usage, not to a crazy amount, but I could see a 10% increase on his usage this year. And for him already being a top 10 guy last year, it's wheels up for a guy like Jahmyr Gibbs. So totally good with making that pick here, even though I didn't make that pick here. Marcus said that he made a trade up for Gibbs, so my first 3 picks were Jefferson, Chase, and Gibbs. Man, yeah, getting Gibbs in the 3rd round I think is crazy good value. Crazy good value. I'm curious what pick you got him at, because, yeah, that's pretty awesome there. Laporta and a tight end premium, can't blame my guy for taking him there at 2-10. Then we got Puka Nacua, A.J. Brown to finish out the 2nd round. Malik Neighbors, Drake London as the next 2 picks. So that puts me back on the board. Ooh. I'm going to be honest. I'm tempted by Jonathan Taylor here, but I am taking Dak Prescott. Get myself a 2nd quarterback. So that gives me C.J. Stroud, Jahmyr Gibbs, and Dak Prescott. So still don't have a receiver, which I usually love to have a receiver by this point, but is what it is. Steven said technology's bugging out. Dude, I get it. I get it, man. All right, so we got Tyreek Hill going at 3-5. Ryan said CMC didn't get picked. He's pretty surprised by that. Curious on your guys' thoughts, because for me, I understand the concept of taking Christian McCaffrey early. I mean, the dude is a true blue stud. RB1 every year if he's fully healthy, and I think it's going to continue that way for another season or 2. I have a hard time taking a running back that's going to be in his age, I think it's his age 28 season, this early in a draft. So that's where I struggle. So I'm curious to see what you guys think about him. Steven said, you guys recently dropped a video about not buying running backs ever unless you're a contender. I'm pretty sure you got like 2 Gibbs shares this off. I got like 2 Gibbs shares this offseason. Yeah, look, I differ from those two guys a little bit. Just on I'm a little bit more willing to take running backs early, but that's more so in a startup where I'm willing to kind of take it and figure out where I'm at. Am I a contender or not? Now, if I'm not a contender, then yeah, I'm moving off the running backs. But in a startup, I am still absolutely taking these running backs. So we got Saquon Barkley off the board at 3-6, Trevor Lawrence, Chris Olave, Kyron Williams, Travis Etienne, Dalton Kincaid, Brock Purdy. And I'm kind of surprised. Jonathan Taylor's still not off the board. Curious to see when he's going to go next. Maybe I shouldn't say that. I don't want to influence anybody. But I am. I'm genuinely surprised to see he hasn't gone yet. And Jalen Waddle, another one that I'm surprised has not gone off the board yet. So there goes Tua. Sedated Fork auto-picked Jonathan Taylor. I think he said something in the chat that he's kind of bugging out. So all good. No worries there. If you're able to hop back in, cool. If not, no worries. But 4-3 is a great spot to get Jonathan Taylor. I love that value there. Tua and Goff and Purdy there where they just went, also very, very good value because at this point, those are the last quarterbacks you feel good about getting as your QB2. After that, quarterback gets a little icky. So they're able to kind of sneak in under that threshold. You got Drake May, J.J. McCarthy, Bryce Young, Kirk Cousins, Sean Watson. Like, you can get a little tough at that point. So see Jalen Waddle going there at 4-4. And then we have Rome Odunze going there at 4-5. True Blue is in clear contending mode with his first 3 picks. Yeah, he's like, bro, win now. Screw the future. Screw them picks. I'm winning it right now. Ryan saying Gibbs is so young. Jake said, is Jaden a bit of a reach? It's all depending on your risk tolerance. I think that's really what it comes down to. Jaden Daniels over Dak Prescott. Obviously, Jaden Daniels has the youth and the upside there, so I don't think that's a bad pick in the least. But it's a very risky pick. With my first 3 rounds, even into the first 4 rounds, I tend to be very risk averse. So I don't like to take super risky picks that early. Wow. Okay. Man, you guys there was a big run on wide receivers. A lot of guys that I would have taken right here. All right. I got to do it. Devon Achane. I got to take him there. I don't think I've had a startup where I've taken 2 running backs in the first 4 rounds in years. Now, I know this isn't a true startup. But this is very, very rare for me to be able to take 2 running backs this early. Very rare for me. So we'll see. We'll see how I like my team when it's all said and done. I could see myself not loving it, but I still got to take the best player available on the board, and I think Devon Achane was the best on the board. Oh, we got 2 tight ends this early. All right, going hard on the tight end. I love it. Let's see. Jared said sedated Fork slacking. Yeah, he said he timed out, so I don't know what happened. We have Jacob saying we should make this a real league. Lunch break nerds. I am open to doing a lunch break league at some point. I gotta figure out what incentives. I always like to do some little incentives for stuff like that. So I gotta figure out exactly what that would look like. But I would be totally down for doing a lunch break nerds league. Jared Will, he took Trey McBride at 4-11. I've been seeing him go often as the 2nd tight end off the board. He is now going as the 4th tight end off the board here. So interesting. I can on-auto him, yes, but I don't think he's here. Like, I think something with his technology got all goofy. So we're just going to let it auto for right now. Jordan said, dude, a lunch break league would be awesome. By the way, I am True Blue. True Blue's ready to win, baby. He said, give me them dubs. All right. Jonathan Brooks going at 412. That's pretty high for the rookie running back, but I like it. I like it. Kyle Pitts, next one off the board. That hurts me a little bit. That was absolutely going to be my next pick. So a little bummed that ended up being the case. I'm assuming Adam Chandler is not going to take his third tight end here. If he does, I'm going to be devastated because I'm absolutely taking Mark Andrews. I think there is 8 guys that I really like. I'd still be fine taking TJ Hawkinson, but I'm absolutely planning on taking Mark Andrews here. But we'll see. Maybe he just wants to be mean and take all the tight ends. Bully tight end approach. Marcus said Gibbs was the pick at 2-9. I went Jefferson at so you traded up into the second to get him. That makes sense. Still don't hate it. I think 2-9 is it's literally where I took him. So I think that's the correct range on a guy like that. So we've got DJ Moore going off the board, which is going to allow me to get Mark Andrews here. I am tempted by TJ Hawkinson. I'm just not sold on McCarthy, and that's kind of changed my outlook a little bit on TJ Hawkinson because I do think tight ends are a little more quarterback dependent than we want to say that they are. All right. Whew, it is hot in here. I bought this like dope little mini fan, but when I was recording with Rich, I was like, "Can you hear that?" And he's like, "I can absolutely hear that." So I can only use it. This little mini AC unit, mobile AC unit, I can only use it when I'm not recording because otherwise it's going to sound terrible for you guys. And I've already had enough tech issues for one show. So I don't want to put that on you guys again, messing up my mic and the quality and all that. We finally just got to a point where you can hear me out of both headphones, so it is what it is. All right, next few picks off the board. I took Mark Andrews. We had Zay Flowers at 5-5. Rich and I were actually going to be debating Zay Flowers, but we ran out of time. We had 5 players that we were going to debate. We made it through 3. I mean, with Rich and I, are you that surprised? The two of us spending just the two of us on a show talking about players, we only made it through 3 players that we were going to debate. So I know anybody that's listened to the Dynasty Nerds podcast at any length of time, know that Rich is bound to have an 8-minute rant at any given point in the show. And obviously, I do a show by myself where I'm just talking to a screen for an entire hour. So you put the two of us together, we're going to have a hard time getting through all the players that we want to get through. J-Wick said I should put my feet in a bucket of ice. Honestly, low-key, I'm almost at that point where I'd be willing to do that. So Zay Flowers off the board, Josh Jacobs at 5'6", Nico Collins at 5'7", Kenneth Walker at 5'8". We got Kirky K in the 5th round at pick 9. Sedated Fork going bully RB approach. He's taking all the running backs. And then we've got Deebo Samuel at 5'11", and this puts up J.C. Parker up at 5'12". I'd be interested. What do you guys think of Rashad White? Obviously, Sedated Fork didn't make that pick. I get that he finished running back 4 last year, but it really feels like a trap. Like, White really, really feels like a trap to me. DK Metcalf, love the DK Metcalf pick. I actually just did when Rich and I were debating, that was one of the guys we debated, and I would have been willing to take him at 5'4" if it wasn't tight end premium and Mark Andrews was on the board. Marcus said, I got my 7-round rookie vet draft tomorrow night. It is a full 11-man starter IDP league, 7 flex, 1 QB. I'm fired up. Dynasty draft season is my favorite. Marcus, dude, I love draft season. I love draft season so much. It's so much fun. The best are in-person ones too. Like the ones that you do online, like that's cool. But J-Wack and I, Sedated Fork says, I hate my team. I hate it here. I don't want to be here. He's got all the running backs. All the running backs are on his team. Hilarious. But yeah, I love draft season. Opportunity to like get together with your homies and just like hang out, talk. J-Wack and I are in a league together. I'm more or less like, I don't want to say forced. That's not the right word. But, like, it's a league where he doesn't know tons of people, but, like, Jared's one of my closest friends, and it was a league with a lot of my other closest friends. So I was like, hey, J-Wack, you're going to be in this league with me because it's basically Friends of Garrett League. Like, that's basically what it is. And but we draft in person every year. He wasn't able to make it last year because he was on his month-long vacation. But getting to just hang out, like we hang out by the pool, we have a bonfire, and we just draft and talk and goof around and eat pizza. And dude, it's one of the best things ever. Just getting to hang out. You're talking football. You're debating players, and you're just like, it's you and your boys. I love it. All right, so I am up here. Oh, man. This is tough. And this is why I like taking receivers earlier than I have in this draft. Let's go. Do I want Worthy or T? I think I want Worthy. That's a risky pick. And especially looking at my team, it's a little bit more of a win now team. So that was a little bit of a risky pick for me. But at this point, I gotta get some upside in the wide receiver core. And obviously he has crazy upside. So I ended up taking Xavier Worthy there, but I didn't feel great about it. Recapping where we're at in the 6th round, Pacheco went 6'1", Jackson Smith and Jigba 6'2", James Cook at 6'3", Derrick Henry at 6'4". Surprised to see Derrick Henry go that high, a little higher than I would have expected. Travis Kelce at 6'5". Kelce going ahead of Hawkinson. Interesting. Better for win now, obviously. But I'm not sure long-term if I would do that personally. Tank Dell, TJ Hawkinson, J.J. McCarthy, and then the pick that I just made. And then we got Jordan Addison. And we're starting to get some more quarterbacks off the board. Bryce Young at 6'11", T. Higgins at 6'12", and Deshaun Watson, his second quarterback, at 7'1". So that's not bad value to be able to get a Deshaun Watson that late. Ryan's not happy with me for taking Worthy. Sorry. And then Marcus says, oh, yeah, year 11 for the league. There you go, buddy. We've been doing it full virtual for like the 6th year in a row, though. It's a fun time. Look, you got to do what you got to do, but there's nothing that beats that in person with your buddy's draft. Like, that's the best. But still, online, there's one that I do through Zoom, and we have a good time doing that too. But the in-person draft is just chef's kiss. My absolute favorite. Ladd McConkey going there at 7'2", DeAndre Swift at 7'3", which puts me back on the clock. Oh, man. This might be a tad bit of a reach, but I'm going to go with Terry McLaurin here. He has a couple more years than some of the other guys that I like Devontae Adams and Mike Evans, but I really like him paired up with Jaden Daniels. I think he's going to be a great fit for that offense. So I like Terry McLaurin a little bit more for my situation. I think he's the best guy on the board for me. DeAndre Swift, by the way, another guy that Rich and I debated on the Nerd Herd show this week. So if you're not a Dynasty Nerds member, you should be. You should be. Birdman said White had a horrible efficiency. I'm going to be trying to sell when we do our rookie drafties, like with people in the box. That is. Ryan said that sounds awesome, an in-person draft. Ryan, you don't do any in-person? Man, that is something I would highly encourage. Like, even if it's just with like kids on your, like dads on your kids' baseball team, or dudes you go to church with, or guys from the office, or whatever it is. And even if it's a lamer league where it's a redraft, only 10-team league, like, do an in-person draft. There's just something so much fun about people on the clock live, stressing out, getting to make fun of guys when they make terrible picks. Like, man, in-person drafts are the absolute best. So, Ryan, I highly encourage it. Even if it's not with, like, super tight, close friends, absolutely take the opportunity. Try to get in a live draft. Redraft, Dynasty, doesn't matter. Do your best to do that. Steven said, I don't do any in-person either. I have no friends like that. Oh, man. See, that's the thing. You don't have to be homies. You don't have to be super tight. Just, hey, you play on my kid's travel basketball team, and I go to church with you, and this is my dude from the office. Like, even if there's just 4 of you getting together, and the other 6 have to be remote, like, that's fine. There's still something. I know it's old school. I know we live in the age of technology, but man, it's so much fun. It's even leagues that are way more competitive. It could be the most casual league ever, but still doing it in person, getting that opportunity to just hang out, man. And like, that's something we don't get enough of. We don't get enough opportunities in our life to just hang out, have fun, goof off with people. We're always working, trying to get things done. Taking that time to just kind of stop and just breathe. Just breathe and I'm just going to talk football with my buddies, or even guys that I maybe eventually will be buddies. I don't know. Or maybe I'll end up being really annoyed of them. Who knows? But either way, getting to do it in person, highly recommend it. Highly recommend it. All right. Let's see. I got offered in a 2-quarterback league. I have Josh Allen, Jordan Love, Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields in the 210 for Tank Dell, Derek Carr, and Michael Mayer. What do you think? I can't decide. I would get Fields and the pick. I don't think I would personally. One, you're the one giving up a quarterback. Well, you're getting a quarterback back. It's not bad because 210 in this class is pretty decent. It's Tank Dell. I really don't want to give up Tank Dell. I think I'm holding on to Tank. I think he's good enough that it would make me hold on to him, but it's close. Gum said, moved states last year, so those days are done for me. Powerfold said, nothing better than being able to tell someone how much their pick sucked. 100%. 100%. There is something special about sitting there and being like, bro, you're an idiot. Why did you pick him 3 rounds earlier than you needed to? It's the best, dude. Steven said, I got to do that before I go for sure. Birdman said, did an in-person league started in 2006. It was a lot of fun. Tons of smack talk. But it is hard to coordinate. That is true. It is hard to coordinate. Mark said, how are we feeling about Hollywood Brown and KC? Oh, wait. Do I have to make a pick? No, I'm not up yet. How do we feel about him in KC? He was a vet that I added in the middle rounds of a startup as a bench play for this year and hopefully longer. Oh, Max, my dog. I got this cute little puppy, but she's been on my nerves lately. Man. All right, this was one of my buys. I got to take Najee here. I got my 3rd running back earlier than, well, yeah, a little bit earlier than I normally have my 3rd running back, but I love Najee's value this year, and I think he's going to absolutely tear up in this offense under Arthur Smith. Dynasty Hot Seat, what's up, buddy? Said, love the lunch breaks, bud. Small tip for sleeper, if you hit the mute button on the top right remote, annoying beep for the audience and clock countdown, just means we hear you click clear. Absolutely. I should have done that. I like to try to do that, but I have my sound muted, and so I forgot that it was on. So you guys want to see the dog? All right. Come here, Max. Come here, Max. Come on. Come here. The people want to see it. All right. Here's Max. It's a little staffy, which is like a pit mix. She is a terror at times, but she is very sweet and very adorable, huh? Yeah, you're very sweet. Our first doggy. The girls are very happy with her most of the time, except for when she chews on stuff that she's not supposed to chew on. All right, I feel like I'm a little behind in updating all of the picks here. So after I took Terry McLaurin, we had George Kittle, Bo Nix. Ryan, you know how I feel about Bo Nix. I don't like Bo Nix. Joe Mixon, Rashee Rice, Devontae Adams, Mike Evans, Jaden Reed, I feel like that's good value for Jaden Reed there. Baker Mayfield. Trey Benson, I love Benson. Love Javonte. I was hoping one of those two guys came back to me. Brian Thomas, Ramondre Stevenson, George Pickens, Evan Ingram, got Keon Coleman, and then David Njoku right before me taking Najee. Then we had Will Levis, Josh Ferguson, Xavier Legette, who I like quite a bit, Justin Fields, Deontay Johnson, and Ricky Pearsall, which puts me right back up on the clock. Oh, it's hard on these two because I don't have like my list in front of me. So sometimes there's guys like in this range that I'll quote unquote overpay for, but it's because I think that they're actually really good value with where they're at. My heart says Spears and White, but my head says Chris Godwin. Yeah, I got to go with Chris Godwin. It's funny that all these stars are here. I feel like those are from like years ago where I placed those. Dynasty Odyssey saying that she's awesome. Birdman said dog. Awesome dog, bro. Just got our first dog last year. Come for the Dynasties talk. Stay for the puppy appearance. Absolutely right. Yeah, she's about 5 months old, 5.5 months old. So, yeah, she's a good dog overall, except for when she poops on the floor. It makes me mad. She eats her poop sometimes, too. That grosses me out. There's something very unnatural about that. We're, like, getting some type of thing to, like, help deter that. But it grosses me out. And then I'm like, and then you're going to lick me? And you just ate your poop? Man. Ryan says, I know you hate him, bro. Talking about Bo Nix. Ryan said, I can't take Najee over Christian Kirk. I'm not a big Christian Kirk guy. I'm not. And I know he's had some good seasons, so I don't want to take anything away from Christian Kirk. Just not a big Christian Kirk guy. Yeah, I mean, I can see why you would want him. He has the opportunity to be, potentially the number one guy in Jacksonville this year. So I can't blame you. Najee has a chance to be the number one guy in Pittsburgh. And, there's a lot of other receivers in that range that I think are pretty good, where Najee kind of stands alone on that value for me. Marcus said, at least she cleans up after herself. Alan said she should outgrow. I hope you're right, Alan. I hope you're right, because that is one of the things I hate the most. And she does not, she does get, little puppy anxiety. So when we have to leave her home alone in her crate, it's 50-50 shot that she just, pooped everywhere. And it's disgusting. So I got to deal with that sometimes. Jordan saying, would you keep these three guys in a super flex? Hurts, Richardson, Murray. Or would you trade one? I don't think I'm actively pushing to make a trade. Oh, big ol' yawn, huh? I don't think I'm actively pushing to make a trade, but I have no problem trading one of those guys. I just need to make sure I have a solid third quarterback in return. So get yourself a Kirk Cousins, get yourself a Deshaun Watson, a J.J. McCarthy, Drake May, somebody like that, because I don't want to be without three quarterbacks. So, but if you can get a deal where somebody will overpay for a quarterback, a higher-end quarterback, then I'm always willing to listen. But I'm not just giving away because I have an abundance of good players at the position. Somebody's got to pay up to make that happen for me. All right, so after I took Chris Godwin, we've got Zamir White, Christian Kirk, Stephon Diggs, Alvin Kamara, Ben Sinnott, or Sinnott, depending on who you are. We've got Cooper Kupp, Tajay Spears. Seeing White and Spears go, it hurts my heart. I had to. Cooper, and then we got Michael Penix. It was time. It was time to take Penix off the board. Very good value for them to be 2.5 rounds apart, Penix and Nix. I love the value on Penix there. Absolutely. Ridley, I actually considered Ridley at 9.4. So to see him go an entire round later, I think that's a good value on him. So Tony Pollard at 10.3, and then Calvin Ridley at 10.4. David Montgomery's still on the board, best player available at the moment. We've got some older guys. There goes Aaron Jones, Keenan Allen, Nick Chubb, Matthew Stafford. So a lot of the older guys are the ones that are still on the board, but plenty of rookies still. Plenty of rookies to still be had. All right. The roll said traded Burrow for Tua and a first, and then sold Tua and QJ, I'm assuming Quentin Johnson, for Herbert, then sold Herbert for Lamar. Thoughts? Wow, that was a lot. Okay, so sold Burrow for Tua and a first. So basically you turned Burrow into Lamar and a first. Yeah, I have no problem with that. You can see in our first roundup here, Burrow and Lamar Jackson went back-to-back. And you could put those guys in any order you want, but so you basically took a guy that is in the same tier for a lot of people, and you were able to get an extra first on top. So that's really savvy movement there, if you ask me. So I love it. I think that's great work on your part. All right. Let's see. I am almost up on the clock. I got to figure out. Oh, Jermaine Burton just went. I like it. Who do I want to take here? Who we got as far as rookies? I think, based on their ADP, I'm going to be slightly overpaying, but now the problem is I got to decide who I want. I like Lloyd better as a prospect, but man, Jalen Wright has been moving up the board for me. So let's take Jalen Wright here. It's a slight reach, but it's a player I really, really like. And now I have Achane and Jalen Wright in the same backfield, which, as I think about it, I don't know if I love that or hate that, but it is what it is. All right, let's go ahead and finish up this round, and then I'm going to go ahead and stop the draft. We'll stop it at 10-12 there. So, Bond, you'll be the last one at 10-12. Mark is saying, Jordan, I think with Richardson's injury and stuff, safe to hold until we get clear in season and where the chips start to fall into place. The role said, I like Lamar more as well. Oh, that worked out perfect then. If you like Lamar more than Joe Burrow, then yeah, you got Lamar and a first. So fantastic, fantastic value. Jalen Wright is risky, but I love it. I have him on my team, and I'm excited to watch him. Yeah, he's just such a good fit for that offense. Such a good freaking fit for that offense. So as Bond makes the final pick of the draft, we can go ahead and take a look here. Curious to see, where everybody thinks they fell as far as their teams go. Can I pause it? Let's see. I think I can. Yeah, pause the draft. There we go. I see you guys trying to sneak in a couple extra picks. Sneaky. No, you don't get those. Those ones don't count. Trying to cheat. So, yeah, curious as your guys' thoughts on, and I'll show the last few teams here in a second too. What team would you like the most in a startup? Which one would you be like, actually, let's not be negative. We don't want to tear anybody down. Just which one would you be the most apt to be excited about of all the teams on here? Not choosing your own. Not choosing your own. For me, let me look through all these teams, see which one I would want the most. I think Bond did a really good job. Just the running back scares me. Or lack thereof, I should say. Just Josh has a pretty good team. And he's got two of my favorite running backs, which definitely helps. That might be my favorite one so far, although J.C. Parker has a pretty good squad too. I don't love the Pacheco pick, but I love basically all of the other picks. Those are my favorite ones, I think, of all the ones I'm looking at. Probably making you guys sick moving this board around like that. Hey, stop. All right. Well, it's about that time anyway. I got to be wrapping up. My dog's barking. I don't even know what she wants at this point. I think she just wants out. She probably has to go potty. So I'm going to let you guys go. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. We will be back next week. I'm not quite sure. I have a few ideas of what I want to do next week. I'm not 100% sure, sold on it yet, but some ideas. Make sure you're tuning in noon Eastern time here on the Dynasty Lunch Break. Appreciate you guys.